Welcome back, guys. It is Dynasty lunch break time. I'm your host, Garrett Price, and we have a very fun show planned for today. I see Brian's already here, Ronnie's already here, Matt's already here, Sedated Fork's already here. The guys are rolling in, rolling in. It's lunchtime. You look at the clock, you're like, oh man, it's noon. I need to hop on. I need to talk some Dynasty Fantasy Football with my guy, Garrett. Hopefully, you're having a delicious lunch. For some of you, it might be nutritious. Some of you might be eating a salad. Matt, what's up, buddy? Some of you might be eating a salad, maybe some grilled chicken. For others of you, it's like, no, it's a Taco Bell day. It's a Taco Bell day. Berserk, what's up, my guy? Man, this is going to be a fun show today. This is going to be a fun show. As always, you guys can, of course, ask questions. Happy to answer trade questions, start, sits, all that kind of stuff. But we do have some fun games planned for today. So I'm not going to tell you the second one because I don't want you guys to cheat ahead of time. But the first game we're going to play today is we are going to be playing the ADP game. All right. ADP game. All right. Faith Family Fantasy Football is here. He's saying, what's for lunch? You know what? I have not eaten lunch yet. I did have a quick little protein bar. So something pretty healthy right beforehand. But I'm balancing it out with a Mountain Dew. So, you win some, you lose some. Dad saying, buy Justin Fields today before his price keeps going up, up, up. Yep, it's going to. I agree. I actually have him in a lot of leagues, and I drafted him quite a bit this offseason because you could get him in the 11th, 12th, 13th round in super flex leagues. So I was buying Mr. Justin Fields. So I am with you. Really, really good value overall. So let's play the ADP game. Now, this is off-season or in-season ADP, which is a little more difficult to decipher because off-season's a little bit easier because you're in drafts. So you're somewhat familiar with where everybody's at. People's values change so much in season that dynasty rankings, dynasty ADP can be pretty tough. So I'm changing the point scale. I'm saying if you get above an 80, that's elite. If you get between 80 and 110, that's a good score. Above 110, you struggled a little bit. So I'm changing the scale a little bit to kind of help factor in for that. Basically how it works, I will give you a player. You give me their super flex tight end premium ADP. All right. And then I will give you the exact ADP as well. Sedated Fork says, please tell me there are Garrett Wilson points on the horizon. My friend, now it just went up only about 30 minutes ago, so you haven't had much of a chance. Go listen to the Dynasty Nerds podcast, and you can go listen to the buy of the week. That's right. I felt very passionate about the buy of the week this week. So if I were you, go listen to that because I think you'll feel encouraged. I do. I think you'll feel encouraged. All right. So let's play the ADP game. So I'm going to give you the first player. Let me make sure I have my ADP list pulled up here. You're going to give me the number that player is as far as drafts go. Okay. ADP wise, give me the number, the exact number, and I'll tell you then where it's at. So first one here. Give me the Superflex tight end premium. Superflex tight end premium ADP of one Mr. Chris Olave. Chris Olave, wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints. It's had a bit of an up and down season so far. Not a bad year, not a good year. It's up, down, side to side. Give me the Superflex tight end premium ADP for Chris Olave. Feel free to put it in the chat. That adds a little transparency when you tell me your score later. Tyler saying, what would you would you drop Chuba or Ford for Sermon? Ooh, or is that Charbonnet? I would be willing to drop. I'd be willing to drop Sharp. I don't think I would. Give me the exact number, not necessarily positional. So you'd be guessing 128 or 15 or 37 or whatever. So give me the super flex, and I'll round it because ADPs are always a little bit weird. It's like 0.63. So give me the super flex tight end premium for Chris Olave. Chris Olave. We have so far 33, 27, 15, 48, 40, 54, 54. Superflex, tight end premium, ADP, all positions. So their overall ADP. So yeah, not just like wide receiver 9 or wide receiver 15 or 26 or whatever. I want the overall ADP. So dad will need to fix his too. He has wide receiver 15 at the moment. So we're looking at all players, not necessarily just the wide receiver position, all players. All right, you guys ready for the next one? Of course, you can ask questions as we go. This is not game only. I'm here for you. I'm here for the people. I'm here to answer questions. So feel free to ask questions as we go. All right. Next one here. Give me the super flex tight end premium ADP for Mr. Davante Adams. Now, obviously, there's some trade rumors swirling around. Could be good for his value, could be bad for his value. Davante Adams. Davante Adams. The first one, if you missed it, Chris Olave. Then we have Davante Adams. We'll do the first 5, and then I'll give you the exact ADP. We'll do the first 5, so it gives other people a chance to hop in here if they're late. So the first one, Superflex tight end premium, ADP for Chris Olave overall. The next one is Davante Adams. Superflex tight end premium, ADP for Davante Adams. Some of you guys doing pretty good so far. I can't tell you who. Some of you guys are doing pretty good. We've got, let's see, Yo-Yo saying 24, Matt saying 108. Guessing 24 is for Chris Olave. 108 for Matt. Sedated Fork 65. Amos 89. Boo saying 89. Kyle saying 72. Matt saying 85. Ronnie saying 88. Birdman saying 92. Faith and Family and Fantasy Football saying 73. Ronnie going back saying 37 for Chris Olave. 37 for Chris Olave. All right, let's get to our third one here. Number 3. The rookie that we have yet to see, Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks. James saying he dropped Gus Edwards this week. Is this a mistake? 10-team Superflex. No, they're on bye week this week. You could easily get him back more than likely if you needed to, if you wanted to. But it does look like J.K. Dobbins is the RB1 on the team. And Gus is still going to get some work. Gus Edwards is still going to get some work, but it's the J.K. Dobbins show. All right, so the first one, Chris Olave. Second one, Devontae Adams. Third one, we have Jonathan Brooks. These are all Superflex tight end premium. Superflex tight end premium ADP. Superflex tight end premium. We've got 70 for Sedated Fork. Greg with the 40 piece. Matt with 66. Ronnie with 54. Birdman with 56. Matt with 46. Amos 51. Kyle saying 41. Yo-Yo Maxwell 24 for Olave. 55 for Adams. And Brooks at 48. Got a lot of good guesses. Some a little too high, some a little too low, some just right. And what player am I even talking about? Maybe all of them fit into that category. We don't know. We don't know. I will say we have had on all of these, we have had at least one person within 2 spots each time. We've had one person within 2 spots each time. Just saying. Just saying, you guys are pretty good. Doing pretty good. All right. Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Jonathan Brooks are my first 3. It's all right. I haven't even given the scores yet, so you're good, Birdman. Brooks with 90 for Faith and Family and Fantasy Football. All right. We said it's Superflex tight end premium. So what are we doing with Mr. Trey McBride? Trey McBride. Superflex tight end premium. Trey McBride. James asks, with the Adams trade news, what's your opinion on the best spot and your desired spot for him to land? I would be totally fine with him going to the Jets. I know some people think that's a death sentence for Garrett Wilson. I don't think that's the case at all. Now, Garrett Wilson against number 2 DBs, like that's going to really open things up. So I would be totally fine with that. Chiefs, obviously a good one. I don't think that's going to happen. I would not be surprised if he ends up in like a Buffalo or something like that. That would not surprise me. Still seems like they want that dominant wide receiver one that they just don't have at the moment. So it wouldn't shock me if that ended up being the case. Matt saying 54 for McBride, 52 for Sedated Fork, Amos with 38, Kyle with 31, Ronnie with 28 for McBride, 15 for McBride, and saying, I don't know how much tight ends go up in premium. LOL. They do tend to go up, not drastically, but they definitely get more love. Drop my cap, drop my pen cap. There we go. Get it with the feet. Oh, got it. Nice. All right, so we've got Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Jonathan Brooks, and now Trey McBride. Matt going with the 34 for Mr. Trey McBride. 52 for Greg. All right, let's get our next one here. This will be our 5th one, so I'll kind of give I'll do it in groups of 5. So we're doing 10 of them overall. I'll do in groups of 5, or I'll give you the ADP, and you can start adding up your score where you're at so far. All right, give me the Superflex tight end premium ADP for one Mr. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. Superflex tight end premium for Brock Purdy. Ronnie's saying flipped Godwin for Kyron this week, where I needed a running back due to CMC. Thoughts? I have no issue with that. Godwin's been playing great. Don't get me wrong. But running back is just so hard to fill. There are more Godwins out there. There's not many players playing like Kyron right now. So even though it's more of a little bit of a short term, but they're probably their life expectancy in the NFL is probably similar at this point. So I would have no problem with that move. All right. So Brock Purdy is the one we're going for right now. Brock Purdy, Superflex, tight end premium. Superflex, tight end premium for Brock Purdy. Superflex, tight end premium. All right. We've got guesses of 25. Matt updated his to 36. We've got 22, 19, 38, 31 for Brock Purdy. Give you guys a couple more, like a 30 seconds, 30 more seconds or so. Nathan saying for a contending team, I have Rachaad White. Do you think trade up for a better running back or try to run it out with Rachaad? Nathan, I think the better days are past Rachaad White at this point. If you can trade him in a second to get yourself a legit running back, I'm absolutely 100% making that move. 100% making that move. So if I could trade like him and a second, like a late second, and maybe get like Joe Mixon, who's just coming off the IR, that would probably be really good. So reminder before we break them down, Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Jonathan Brooks, Trey McBride, Brock Purdy. This will be the halfway point. So you're trying to get as close to the actual ADP as you can. Boo saying third year of an orphan rebuild. QBs, T-Law, Kyler, Jaden Fields, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Godwin, Pickens, Ayuk, Wan'Dale Robinson, Rashid Shaheed. Tight ends, we've got Kincaid and McBride. Running backs, Connor, Benson, Zamir, and Lloyd. He has the 2025 101 and 102. Got offered Achane for it and could probably get Gibbs for it. Move into contender mode or hold on and let the pick get value. If you think you can win it this year, when obviously with Jaden and Kyler, your receivers are pretty solid, you probably could. So I would have no problem getting like a Gibbs or an Achane for 102. I'm holding on to 101, but at this point, you don't know which one is 101. But I would be willing to move one of them for for one of those running backs if you think you can win it this year. Because sometimes you have like one or two teams that are just dominant, and you're like, even with that, I couldn't win it. Don't do the move then. But if you look at it and you're like, this would put me parallel with a few other teams or possibly put me as the top team, then I'm making that move. Matt, I'm sorry, Mr. A-Rich question from above. Here we go. Late 25 first and second for A-Rich and Superflex. Not QB needy, but buy low-ish and hope for a rebound. If it's a late first, yeah, I have no problem with that. Like, you're going to draft an upside guy with a late first anyway. So why not take a guy that was taken in the top 10 in the draft and has his type of ceiling? So I would have no problem doing that. All right, here we go. The ADPs for Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Jonathan Brooks, Trey McBride, and Brock Purdy. Superflex tight end premium, Chris Olave, 34. Chris Olave, 34. 34. So you can do the math. How far off were you there? So if you were at 44, you're 10 off. So add 10 to your score. All right. Number 2, Devontae Adams, 85. Devontae Adams, 85. Superflex tight end premium ADP is 85 for Devontae Adams. 85. You can do your little bit of math there. Nathan, instead of Mixon, what's your thoughts on DeAndre Swift? He's been getting consistent volume. I would be fine with that if it's straight up. I don't want to give the extra second for DeAndre Swift, though. Maybe I'd give like an early third, would probably be the most I'd give on top. All right. Number 3, Jonathan Brooks. Yeah, Jake, that hurts. But hey, you can come back from that, my man. You can come back from that. Jonathan Brooks, 67. 67. And Boo, it looks like you did Brock Bowers. It's Brock Purdy that you're going after in a second here. Brock Purdy that you're going. I know, Matt, you hit Adams right on the dot. I saw that one. I was like, ooh, look at this guy. All right, Jonathan Brooks, 67 for Jonathan Brooks. 67. Superflex side and premium, we've got Trey McBride up next. 43. 43 for Trey McBride. We had a lot of people that were either just a little bit high, just a little bit low on McBride. Had some 50s, had some 30s. Not a lot in the 40s as far as a guess for Trey McBride. 43. 43 for Trey McBride. All right, last one here. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. He's at 30. 30 for Purdy. 30 for Purdy. Matt's asking 12-team tight end premium. Jermaine Burton in a late second for Terry McLaurin. If you are a contender, all day and twice on Sunday. Yep. And I like Jermaine Burton. I think he's a good player. I think he's going to have an opportunity to play eventually here for the Cincinnati Bengals. But if you're a contender, absolutely take Terry McLaurin. Birdman, screwed myself up with McBride. Look, there's always one or two that are going to throw you. There's always one or two that are going to throw you. It can be tough. All right, so add up your score so far. This will be your halfway point score. Remember, the cutoffs are now, if you do better than 80, because you want a low score, you do better than 80, that's elite. That's elite. So if you're at 40 or less right now, you're feeling pretty good. Okay. From 80 to 110, that's a good score. All right. Solid. So 80 to 110, and then above 110 is you need a little bit of work. Need a little bit of work. All right. We'll get to the second half here in a second. We've got some guys. Ronnie's doing good. 35, looking pretty good right now. Sedated Fork, 49. Not too shabby. He said better than I hoped for. I think Sedated Fork was the one that said I always do bad at this game or something like that in the beginning. Greg says T. Higgins, Braylon Allen, and a 25 early third. And I receive a 2025 likely late first, 26 first, and a late fourth. If I can give T. Higgins and Braylon Allen, because the third isn't like the thirds and the fourths don't really change much for me. If I can get a 2 firsts for T. Higgins and Braylon Allen, I think that's a good move. Contender Superflex, Matt, I'm definitely going J.K. Dobbins over McCaffrey or Burton. They are not helping you at all this year, so I would definitely give myself that running back depth that you'll probably need. Jordan saying, as a contender, would you down tier off of Bijan to get Rashee Rice and a running back like Cooks or Aaron Jones? The problem is if you're a contender, Rashee Rice doesn't help you at all. So that's the tricky part. Like I like getting Rice more in a rebuild than I do a contender. I'm fine tearing down from Bijan, but I need a receiver that's going to help me now. Old Sport, how concerned should we be about Breece Hall and the Jets offense and Braylon Allen? I talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but I have some real concerns. Right now, there's nobody that I feel confident moving ahead of Breece Hall at 2, but I have some real concerns right now about Breece Hall there. So I think this is going to be more of a timeshare than we want it to be. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep it moving. Player number 6. Player number 6, Superflex, tight end premium ADP. Player number 6, Superflex, tight end premium ADP. Give me the ADP for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. Good old Captain Kirk. I'm writing down his ADP now so I don't forget it, because I will do that. Earlier, we had Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Jonathan Brooks, Trey McBride, Brock Purdy. Now we have Captain Kirk Cousins. Sure, I can put that in the chat. All right, let me see. We've got Olave, 34. Adams, 85. Brooks, 67. Trey McBride, 43. Purdy, 30. And then next up is Kirk, but I'm not telling you his ADP. All right, let's see if that worked. Yeah, there we go. I put spaces to put them all neatly down in a row, and I just jumbled them all together. You can still see it, though. Captain Kirk Cousins. We've got some guesses here. 98 for Amos, 96 for Matt. Sedated Fork, 82. 98 for Kyle. Birdman with 82. Matt with 125. And 93 for Rodney. 93 for Rodney. Kirk Cousins, Superflex, tight end premium, ADP. Superflex, tight end premium, ADP. All right, let's get a rookie. Let's get another rookie out here. Marvin Harrison Jr. Those ones towards the top tend to be a little bit easier. Give you guys one to help catch up the score a little bit, maybe. Marvin Harrison Jr. All right, Country Time saying Chat and GP going for a repeat in the 10-team Superflex League. Traded away Darnold and 204, 14th overall. I'm guessing just 204 right now because we don't know for sure. And he said that'll be the earliest. Okay. My 25 second and my 26 first for Purdy. How did I do? So Darnold, 2 seconds and a first for Brock Purdy. I think that's a good move. If you're going for a repeat, you want a guy like Brock Purdy. And you'd much rather have him than Deshaun Watson at the moment. So well done. I think that's a good move. Let's see. For Marvin Harrison Jr., we have Matt with 9, Sedated Fork with 15. Greg saying his halfway point 75. This is your chance to catch up here, Greg. Moss with 16, Nathan with 13, Matt with 12, Ronnie with 13, Birdman with 11, Old Sport with 12, Kyle with 18. Fatima's here. How's it going, Fatima? Good to have you here. Andrew said, for 1 QB leagues, can anyone supplant Ashton Genty for 101? I think you still have a couple receivers that could. I don't think we'll see a running back go ahead of him at this point. You still have Tet McMillan and Luther Burden. That'll be interesting. Both guys have a chance to be top 10 players, but Genty looks pretty strong as the 101 and 1 QB at the moment. Fatima, would you trade a 26 first for Fields in a super flex? Only if I was a legit contender. If I was a legit contender, I would. Country Time saying, I also sold Yoshivas high, LOL, for an early 25. Third, I'm fine with it. No problem there at all. Okay. So we've done Kirk Cousins and we've done Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's get to player number 8. Player number 8. The ADPs from before. Chris Olave, 34. Devontae Adams, 85. Jonathan Brooks, 67. Trey McBride, 43. And Brock Purdy at 30. All right. Then we just did Kirk Cousins and Marvin Harrison Jr. Kirk Cousins and Marvin Harrison Jr. were the two that we just did. Now, give me the Superflex tight end premium ADP for Jonathan Taylor. Now, this was before his injury, for what it's worth. This was before his injury. Not that we expect him to miss much time, but for what it's worth. Jonathan Taylor. Ooh, contender super flex. 1 PPR Jefferson or Marvin Harrison Jr. in an early first. Woo! I'm going Marvin Harrison Jr. in the early first. If I can add Ashton Genty, if I can add the top quarterback, if I can add a Burden or McMillan to my team on top of Marvin Harrison Jr., I think you got to do that. That's tough, though. That's really tough to give up on Justin Jefferson on a contender, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is already putting up the numbers pretty much right away. Superflex tight end premium, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. We've also done Kirk Cousins and Marvin Harrison Jr. Sedated for guessing 22, 24 for Matt, 38 for Rodney, Nathan saying 30, Kyle with the 27 spot, and A. Moss with 18. Nathan saying fleece alert. Fleece alert. Maybe he's talking about in gold we trust. Let me read this one. Hey, Garrett, would you do one of these trades, and which one do you like better? Non-tight end premium Dynasty League. Send Andrews for Shakir straight up, or send Andrews and Downs for DJ Moore. I would be much more willing to do the Andrews and Downs for DJ Moore. I like Shakir. I've always been a big Shakir guy, but the problem is he's just not a sure thing. And DJ Moore is a much more consistent, steady asset. So I would be much more willing to do DJ Moore. Greg saying, what price are you accepting for Jordan Mason if you're selling? I'm asking for a late first. Now, if I have to end up giving a second or third with Mason to get a first, but right now he's helping you win a league. So a contender needs to pay a price of a running back one, and that's what he's going to be right now. And looks like for most of the season. So I'm looking for a first. I'd be willing to give a second or third with Mason to get the job done. All right. So Jonathan Taylor, we just got done with Taylor. Let's get to our next one here. Number 9. So far we have done Kirk Cousins, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jonathan Taylor. This is Superflex tight end premium. Superflex tight end premium. Number 9. Lad McConkey. Superflex tight end premium. Superflex tight end premium. I get it, Faith. I hate it when I get calls during Dynasty Lunch. Like, come on, guys. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. Nick, I was offered Marvin Harrison for Malik Neighbors and Brock Bowers. I would not do that. Brock Bowers is tight end 1 in Dynasty right now. And Neighbors and Marvin Harrison like flip a coin. And I think there's a strong argument that maybe even Neighbors above Marvin Harrison Jr. So I would not do that. I would not do that. Ronnie said, I made a trade this morning. I received Pickens and sent out a late 25-second likely in Shakir. I think that's worth it for Pickens. And I'm not even the biggest Pickens guy, but picks and like iffy players for a guy that's at worst going to be a very solid wide receiver 3. Like that's worst case. So what do we think Eric All is worth pick-wise in a Dynasty tight end plus league? So pretty big premium there, it sounds like. If somebody wants to get him from me, they need to give me an early second at this point. Yeah, someone in my league tried to offer me Marvin Harrison Jr. for Neighbors. Yeah, at this point, Neighbors is above Marvin Harrison. Like you gotta overpay to get Neighbors. And Marvin Harrison's been good. He's been good. It's not like he's been playing poorly. He's been fantastic. But at this point, come on. All right. Lad McConkey's number 9. Lad McConkey, Superflex, tight end, premium. Superflex, tight end, premium. The last one. Got our last one here, guys. Country time, yes, I would be willing to do either one of those. I think he's worth 2 firsts, honestly. So I'd be willing to do that. Last one. I can't make it easy on you guys. So here we go. Superflex tight end premium. Give me the ADP for Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard. Couldn't end on a light one. Tony Pollard. It's a tough one. I couldn't let you guys end on a layup. That doesn't feel right. I will give you guys a hint though. I have not done a single player. There's not been a single player over the 120 pick. There's not been a single player over the 120 pick. So if that adjusts any for you guys, there's not a single player over the 120 pick. Everyone has been 120 or less. Every player has been 120 or less. Tony Pollard. Birdman said, undo 98. Just kidding. Nobody over 120. Nobody over 120. Superflex, tight end, premium. Ronnie saying, I have Mahomes in a 1 QB, and I'm sad watching his fantasy scores. I also have Dak, but he's also been very meh. Do you move one of them? If so, who to target? Start Dak or Mahomes each week? It's tough right now. Guys go in waves. I would say right now, you kind of have to hold. It's not a good time to sell either one. Both guys we know they have top 3 potential. Both have been top 3 guys multiple times. So it's tough. But I don't think you can move either one right now. It's okay to laugh, saying, considering the RB injuries as of late, as a Connor owner, do I trade for Benson? Is he the clear cuff or is it DeMarcado? Trade Sutton or Shaheed for Benson. Thoughts on cuffs in general? I have no problem with handcuffs. I love to get other people's handcuffs just as much, if not more. But yes, I think Benson's a fantastic young running back. I would absolutely want him on my team. So yes, a Shaheed, a Sutton, absolutely. Now, is he the clear cuff? I think DeMarcado is going to be involved, but I think Benson would be the clear lead back in that situation. We saw him have, what was it, 9 carries for 50 yards this past week in kind of cleanup duty. So I would be in on him. All right. Let's get to our final 6. Remember, the cutoffs for an elite score is 80, 82, or 81, I guess, to 110 is good. Below 110, not so much. All right, here we go. Kirk Cousins, Superflex, tight end premium, ADP for Kirk Cousins, 88. 88. Superflex, tight end premium, 88 for Captain Kirk. And I'll put them in the chat too. Next one, Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. 15. 15 for Marvin Harrison Jr. 15 for Marvin Harrison Jr. Next up, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, 31. 31. Good job, Sedated Fork. That's what I'm talking about. 31 for Jonathan Taylor. I think I spelled McConkey right. Maybe I didn't. All right. Lad McConkey, 72. 72. Superflex tight end premium ADP of 72. Last but not least, we've got Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, 99. 99 for Tony Pollard. That was the last one. It was a toughie. Was not an easy one. Though a couple of you guys got pretty close. You guys got pretty close on that one. So here they are. I put them in the chat now as well. Cousins, 88. Marvin Harrison Jr., 15. Jonathan Taylor, 31. Lad McConkey, 72. Tony Pollard, 99. Who had the best score? Did we get anybody with like a 60 or better? That's crazy. If you can do 60 or better, that's wild. Like, that's super elite. Super elite. Kyle saying missed second by 34. That's tough. Ronnie with a 70. Well done. 35 in both rounds. Oh, before Pollard, 73. After Pollard, 119. Now, you can only give yourself so many there because I said you might have missed it. I said no player is over 120. So give yourself a 120 then. Give yourself a 120 on that instead of what you guessed, because I think you guessed like 40 or something, like 140 or something like that. So only give yourself 120 there, because I did inform the crowd that nobody was over 120. Let's see, Matt, total of 92. Not bad. Not bad at all. Kirk and Brooks killed me. Pretty good on the rest of them. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes we value a player much higher or much lower than the community, and so that makes it a little bit on the tricky side trying to figure that out. Makes it just a little bit tricky. Matt saying I'd rather not say. Rather not say. Sedated Fork, 94. At least I am in the good range. There you go. There you go. Birdman, 68 on the first half, 24 on the second half. Woo! 24. Well done. McBride killed you, that 28-pointer. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes you get guys like, you're doing good. Oh, I was only 3 off here, 4 off there, 1 off there, 6 off here. 37. Dang it. Like that just jacks up everything. So that is the tricky part about this game. They all roll into each other. So guys, that wraps up the Dynasty lunch break today. Thank you, of course, for hanging out with me. commenting, playing along with the games. I had a super great time with you guys. So, best of luck this coming week. And I will see you guys next Wednesday and next Thursday. We'll see you.